Only 14 more weeks to go. No, 12. No, 13. All right, so here we are, finished another week, done week 3 of training for IPF Open Worlds. This week was pretty decent week training, nothing crazy exciting. I had equipment on for all 3 lifts. I started out the week last Sunday putting my squat suit on, doing a couple of singles, worked up to 232.5. Pretty happy with how it moved. Depth could have been a little bit better, but again, just getting used to the suit still, so just something to work on in the coming weeks. The rest of that day, just some more raw squats, belt squats, accessory movements from there. Then I got to put my shirt on, and I took my shirt in a little bit, made it a little bit tighter before that workout, and it was the first session of actually touching my chest. So I actually touched my chest, which was good, and every set that I did, the reps got better, just bar path was better, my press was better, so that was good improvement. And then again, just some raw bench, pin presses, and then lots of tricep accessory after that. Then I got to do some equipped deadlift. I put my Centurion on instead of my Velocity. So my squat suit on instead of my deadlift suit for deadlifts this week, it's a little bit looser. It's definitely looser in the straps. So I was able to just get my positioning a little bit better. I'll probably try my deadlift suit again and see if I can get the positioning with the tighter straps. But when the straps are so tight, when the straps are tighter, the entire suit gets tighter because it's gonna pull everything up. So then it makes it harder to push into the right position. So I think putting the looser suit on this week was a good idea. Ryan gets credit for that because it was his idea. I think it was a good idea because it let me find that position and feel the position that I've been trying to get with more knees out and sitting into it a little bit more. And I think I felt it a few times. It wasn't perfect, but it was a step in the right direction. So I don't have my deadlift suit now on for a couple of weeks. So we'll still keep playing with that and sort of decide what we're going to do gear-wise there. So those are my first 3 days of this week. And then the last 2 days were, I wouldn't call them boring days. There was no gear in them, just sort of going in, putting the work in. I did my day 5 or my 4th training day on Thursday morning. So it was a morning session. And by morning, I don't really mean early morning. I think I went in at like 9:30. But I normally train around 5. So my energy was lower than I would have liked it to be. And it was 3-second pause bench. Those very quickly got quite heavy. So I had to drop my weight back a little bit, but still got the work in, which is all that really matters at this point for those sessions. And then I had my last day this week was Friday, where I had some 2 inches above parallel pause squats or high pause squats. They usually end up closer to depth than 2 inches high. But this week I was able to sort of stop myself a little bit higher than I normally have, but positioning felt really good. I worked up to 162.5 on those. Positioning felt really good. Bar path was good. So raw squats still feeling good, even though the focus is definitely on equipped right now. So yeah, that was week 3 is done. This coming week is a bit of a taper, deload. I'm only in equipment for squat the first day of the week, and then just putting in work the rest of the week. And then I'll get back into gear, I think, for everything the following week. Yeah, so that's where training's been this past week. Nutrition-wise, this week, everything sort of stuck as planned. I check in with Kristen every Tuesday, so I checked in with her on Tuesday, and she's sort of happy with how things are going, so we left my macros the same. And the biggest thing I'm noticing right now is that the last couple of days I've been really hungry in the mornings when I wake up. I'm not noticing hunger throughout the days, but just when I wake up in the morning, I'm ready to eat my first meal right away. And the pre, intra, post-workout nutrition is getting, again, more easy, just becoming more used to that. Body weight's sort of lingering around low 63s, low 76s. So it's still dropping, it's trending down. I'm mostly looking at my weekly average right now, which I should be down probably close to 700 grams on my weekly average, I would guess, by Tuesday. So again, it's trending in the right direction, maybe not as fast as I would like it to be, but I'm still feeling really good. I still have, what did we figure out? 13 weeks until I compete, so I have a lot of time. I would just like to be there now, but that's my own doing, so I have to be patient. So in other news this week, we headed to Regina to the Doubletree to do just a quick site tour. Next year, 2019, we're hosting the IPF Junior World Championships, which is equipped. So we're starting to sort of ramp up planning. It's more at the forefront of our thoughts, what we're doing. Organizing committee meet directors are my husband, Ryan Stinn, and my brother, Ryan Fowler, and then supported by sort of my brother's wife, Heidi, and myself. We headed to the Doubletree this week to look at the venue. We're going to change the setup a little bit. The Doubletree is where we hosted nationals in 2016, and it's a really nice venue, really nice hotel. We're going to change the setup a little bit, try and hopefully make it a little bit better, and that'll be next August. The last week of August, I think, is when it's slated for. So we hosted this same championship back in 2011, and I was still a junior lifter at that time. That was my last year as a junior. And I think I talked about this before, that I was involved in the organizing committee for that event. I'm really looking forward to helping plan an event that I'm not actually competing at, because then that stress is out of the picture and we can just focus on the lifters that are there competing and hopefully making it a good event for them. So equipped lifting, I think, is a little bit more fun than classic lifting. For those of you who are in the sport already, especially junior lifters who have the opportunity to represent Canada next year in Canada, which is always a little bit more exciting. Equipped lifting adds a whole new element versus classic. Classic training I find relatively easy, especially once you've been in gear for a bit of time and understand sort of the pain of it and the additional work that you need to put in to actually figure out the gear. If you're a junior lifter next year, you should maybe consider getting in gear. This year, I think we've only got 3 guys going to Junior Worlds. So the team might not be full, or it might be a little bit easier to get on that team versus the classic team. Plus, like I said, it's in Canada, so it's always a good place to be able to represent your country. As far as why I keep equipped lifting, when I started powerlifting, there wasn't a category for raw. I think the first year that raw really started getting introduced was 2012 was the first year that the IPF had a actual raw championship. And then a couple of years before that, sort of it was picking up speed in some countries, not so much in others. So raw powerlifting's definitely broadened the bases, made it more accessible. But when I started, everybody was equipped. My first competition that I did about a month after I actually started training for powerlifting, I think I got loose knee wraps thrown on me for the first time for one of my attempts, and a super, super crazy loose bench shirt thrown on me that I hadn't worn in training at all, just for another attempt. So that's just was sort of the norm with powerlifting. So that's sort of where I started, where my roots are. Why I keep coming back to it, it's a lot more exciting. You can lift more weight, which is always a cool thing. But there's also a huge technical aspect of it. I've had a number of people reach out to me lately asking me, hey, what gear are you wearing? You're getting a lot out of your bench shirt, which I do. My best raw bench in competition is 120 kilos, and my best equipped bench in competition is 180 kilos. So I'm getting 60-ish kilos out of my shirt. But that's not just from putting the shirt on. If I give you a bench shirt, you're not just going to be able to put it on and bench 60 kilos more. That's tons of time in the shirt, actually getting to know how the shirt needs to be put on, where you need to touch, where you need to press, training to strengthen those different planes of movement that the shirt is. And same thing goes with the squat and the deadlift suit. It's not just a put on and you're going to lift 50 kilos more. It's you're going to put it on. The first time is probably not going to go so well. The first time you might not lift more weight than you have raw. But as you get more proficient in the gear, you're going to become a better equipped lifter, and you're going to be able to hit those higher and higher loads over what your raw max is. The other thing I love about equipped lifting is, like I said, the extra variables that come along with it. Getting psyched up for raw lifting is definitely a challenge for me. And part of that is because with equipped lifting, there is a whole nother element on competition day as far as timing of your warm-ups, timing of when you're putting your suit on, even when you're going to the bathroom within that, because it's not easy to go pee when you have a squat suit on. So just that whole element of, okay, you need to know that you're 5 out and you're going to start wrapping in 2 lifters, and your handlers play more of an integral role in your competition day. Versus with raw, it's like, okay, I can tell you what warm-up I need. I can be paying attention to the clock a little bit more. And you don't rely on them quite as much as you have to equipped. So moral of this is, if you haven't tried equipped, give it a try. The best thing to do is start with some looser gear before getting a shirt that actually fits you, or a suit that fits you perfectly. Start in looser gear, sort of get the hang of it there. Borrow it from people who you know. Talk to some equipped lifters. Lots of equipped lifters have tons of gear hanging around that they might be willing to part with for a few bucks. So see what you can get used, looser gear, and then just tighten it up over time and keep playing with it and having fun. So that's it for week 3 of our blog this week. Looking forward to week 4, a little bit easier week for me training wise, or it should be, I guess, at least. Just the squat suit on this week, and then just raw training the rest of the week. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube. Any questions that you want addressed in this series, let us know below.